Hi there, this is Nathan Moss from Northland Phoenix, and today I want to talk about the US dollar. Why do I want to talk about the US dollar? Because the US dollar is a huge, the fact that we're using the US dollar is a huge contribution to our own enslavement and to a lot of the problems that we have in the world. Yeah. So, I think the first place to start is with some of the misconceptions about the US dollar. I think that the biggest one is that people seem to think that the US Treasury, has some sort of hand in the US dollar. At this point, the Federal Reserve, Board has, or the Federal Reserve banks as well, have like full power to print however many, or I should say create however many dollars they want. Because they're allowed to do so in emergency situations, which is under their own discretion. Also, any bank can create money all the time. So money is just a debt instrument. So you go to the bank and say, I want $200,000 for a home. Most likely that money is not coming from anywhere in particular, but they just go to the Federal Reserve Bank and hand them your IOU, and then the Federal Reserve Bank makes the money for you. So, and there are limits, for that process, which is they have to maintain certain reserves on hand. So it typically works out that there's the total money supply is about 9 times the money supply of what the Treasury has made as real money, if you can call it that. The most important thing that people get, I think, is that the US dollar is, or a Federal Reserve note, is a debt instrument. It's not like it's not a positive instrument, or I don't know how else you'd say that, but it's not like the Treasury just makes $1 trillion and then evenly distributes it to people or anything. It's an IOU from the US government to whoever owns or to whoever has the actual dollar or the note, and it is backed by the labor of the US citizens. So, how does that actually look like? What it means is that you start seeing these things where you see like the US government is in debt, some bajillion dollars every year, and a large portion of that is just paying interest on the debt that we owe. So part of that is that we spend too much as a government, as a people, and the other part is that we have a debt-based currency that continues to grow or devalue every year. So it kind of hits us on both ends, if you can say that. Then, so one of the common things the government does is that it will pay for stuff using mortgage-backed securities. So, what'll happen is that the government will put whatever bajillion dollars set aside for Social Security or Medicare or whatever. Then it'll take that money, replace that money with an IOU for the amount of the money. So from a bank account standpoint, it looks the same, but one was money, and then one was a promise to pay some money. So there wasn't actually money there. So whenever they needed it, they had to go ask that person to pay for it. Or a bond comes due someplace else, and that gets converted into the dollar that it was needed originally. So what do we do about this situation where our money supply is pretty much meaningless now? It's the Federal Reserve Bank or board, or whatever you want to call it, is pumping money into our economy, dollars, so it's diluting the value of each dollar we have, and we need a real solution, not just dealing with the money supply as we have right now. So, what do we need from a currency? In my mind, we need it to be put out in a decentralized manner, return to the people, not controlled by a very select few of people who either already are corrupted or in the future could most likely easily be corrupted due to the position that they hold and the power that they wield. So, it has to be done by the people, for the people, not by some guy in a locked room or behind closed doors. It has to be transparent. And the other thing I think it has to be is it has to be backed by something, and it has to have a constant value. We all know that things like pop used to cost a quarter or a nickel, and now they cost $1 or $1.25 or whatever it is now. Stuff has been inflating dramatically because of the money that we've been creating, but also we really need to people have more confidence in a money, if it has a constant value, if they know what it means. People get the current money system is kind of the word's escaping me right now, but it's sort of a trick on people that don't know what it means. If you don't understand that every year the dollar loses 8% of its value, then you end up losing value over time. If you put it in a bank account, your money is losing value as it's sitting there, because it won't buy the same amount of stuff in a year as it did today. So, yeah, I'm certainly no expert on the dollar, but I know enough to know that we need to figure out something new. And I don't know what the answer is, but I like the way Bitcoin looks, in the fact that it is a currency that is, held by the people, created by the people, can't be corrupted like a lot of other things can, because there's not really any centralized path that, hoard it or anything. Well, I suppose you can still hoard it, but not the same way that our current dollars are. I have some other ideas, but I think that the dollars need to, or money needs to be more community based, created by the people. So, one person that I highly recommend you guys listen to is Andrew Goss, like Gause, I believe, maybe two S's, but I think it's just one. And you can hear his interviews or his radio shows on Patrick Timpone's One Radio Network. And it is well worth your time. He can definitely go into it pretty well, although he doesn't necessarily believe in a completely decentralized currencies, but he believes in one that is regulated by the people, and he definitely tells you how to survive in this economic climate with the monetary system that we have. He's a big proponent of gold and silver, or all commodities, things that are going to hold value over time. So I just wanted to bring this up, not as because I want to give you all the answers because I don't have them, but more to get you thinking about these things. So if you have any other information, feel free to let me know in a comment form. So thanks a lot. Have a great day.